Welcome, Survivor, to some more 7 Days to Die, and what an awesome week we have had. We have had not just one, but two updates to our experimental, but this one is actually not too bad. I had logged in, I updated and logged in, and I found that I have a floating bush here, or tree here, in the middle of my ocean. I kid you not, I have not placed this myself. I didn't notice it for a while until I was sort of like somewhere around my shoreline, and I'm like, what the F is that? So, yeah. Well, I don't mind, it's kind of pretty. But I was going to look at some of the things that they've changed in the new version, and there's actually some fairly significant ones. Not these ones. Wait, guys. Hold on a moment. You're going to be featuring here in a moment. So let's look at the changelog. Of course, you enjoyed this video, so make sure you subscribe. And I will call this one the water update, and it's a very minor one, unfortunately. We have high quality water depth transparency and improved edge transparency, edge foam waves and undulations. And what does that mean? Let's go back in the game here and make a punch. You see, there's this foam on the side. Maybe they could have had a little bit more of it, but you see the water sort of undulating as it sort of rocks gently, putting you to sleep. That looks pretty alright. I mean, it's not a huge difference. I'm not sure where I would have noticed it if I didn't read the changelog. One thing that this actually does look a little bit weird is in the distance, and let me see, can I see? It's a bit dark here. If I turn down the fog just a little bit, you'll see in the distance here where my good water ends and my crappy water in the distance begins. You'll see, because of the undulation, you'll see you get this white splotches show up, and that's because the water is actually undulating at the edges, and it looks fine when there's actually blocks there. When it's out in the water, it actually looks really weird because it looks like it's blinking. Not sure whether FunPimp can do something about that, because that looks really weird. Unfortunately, it looks all right during the coast, but out in the, like here, you'll see it's like it's really noticeable because it keeps going every time the water sort of undulates up and you get those highs on the waves. But anyway, nice bit. The second part is that they have improved low quality water transparency and waves and smoothness. So I have high quality here though. So one thing I did notice is that they have seemed to improve the visibility in the water just slightly. It always was murky as part of Alpha 19, but it looks like they've made it a little bit better, as you can see slightly further, which is nice. It was a little bit too aggressive before. Maybe it was like it was super murky. At least this is manageable. You can sort of see where you're going. You can see everything around you. I mean, I can see that this is the shoreline and this is out at water. I see my bases. So sort of like it's there, but it's not that super one. I think that's nice. It makes it look a little bit better. And we're going to come back to the water, the transparency and everything. Give me a moment for that one. But another thing that they fixed, and this is more of a cosmetic thing. Container buttons on vehicles are now not in a different order than loot, container, and backpack. That was something that if I put this one down, I put this one down. Now, if I access this one, you'll see the buttons are here. If I access this one and go into the container, you'll notice that buttons are here as well. And that's nice. And of course, these extra ones are because of Kane's lockable buttons, so those are not default, but at least they're in the same location so you don't get confused. There were some fixes to spears, because I don't use spears that often. I don't see a lot of the issues, but apparently they no longer fly slowly. And I think more importantly, spears that hit a block and the player at the same time, they couldn't be picked up before, so that's been fixed. Spears visual glitch between players, again, that's also been fixed. None of these are extremely important, but there's one thing that is really good and was really needed, was that iron and steel knuckle reach is reinstated. So for those of you who remember some of my videos and streams, is that the iron and steel knuckles were good, and then they were broken, so you basically had a 10 centimeter reach, and then they were fixed. And then they were broken again. And now they've been fixed again, which means that you can go back to using your iron and steel knuckles without having to use the power attack. It was basically, I believe, just the left click, the normal attack that had a reach problem. I don't know if they messed up a property, and when they updated it, they used the wrong commit of the property file or something, so the reach was balked once again. But I'm glad they fixed it. Please don't break it again, because a lot of people love to use the iron and steel knuckles, and if you have a 10 centimeter reach, yeah, they don't work really that well. But let's come back to some of this water thing. So I made my water base, swim coach base yesterday, And I realized that some of the changes they've done to water actually has made it even better for this type of mace, because the visibility seems to have been improved. Now I fixed a little bit of the water, and now I can see all the way here. Isn't that nice? So I'm just going to restart it here, and they fall down. The funny thing is that they don't seem to hit all the way down now. I'm not really sure why that is, but oh, you see this one broke. But at least here I can see better. I can see all the way through, which is nice. It is funny though how the zombies now, when they fall down, they don't quite hit the ground. They almost. So I would just make sure I... Hey, what are you doing there? Don't swim outside here. You look like you're floating. And well, I guess sort of you are. So I would have dropped this one down a couple more, because now they seem to sort of land a block up. But it makes the water even better to look through here, which is just helpful when you're standing back here and just sniping. So thanks for that update. I wish the one thing I would have wanted them to add, unfortunately they didn't add, is the raft. I mean, they fixed the water and everything. Can't you just add the raft? You guys said it was just a weekend or week or something of work. Can you just, please, Fun Pimps, put it in. Let us play with it. Maybe make it a special item that we have to enable or something, but at least put it in so we can play with it. I think that would be really, really cool. But hope you enjoyed this short little cover of the b178 update to experimental. No stable yet, but hopefully next week. Thank you, Fun Pimps, and I'll see you again next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.